Good afternoon, I'm Chris Elliott with your Friday lunchtime sport news. This weekend's Premier League action kicks off tonight as Southampton hosts Leicester City. Pressure has been rising on Saints boss Ralph Hasenhüttl, only stay out the relegation zone on goal difference. A win for Leicester could take them as high as second. Eastleigh Football Club has been rocked by a robbery which saw hundreds of pounds stolen. CCTV footage released by the club shows 3 thieves break into the stadium, costing the team an estimated £2,000. The club has appealed for any witnesses with information. Chichester City FC have reached the second round of the FA Cup for the first time. With an odd number of teams entered into the draw after Bury's expulsion, the Lily Whites were the last team out of the pot, receiving a buy and cash injection of £36,000. Club secretary Wayne Dalton believes that starting in the earlier rounds is actually advantageous to a small club like Chichester.
Through like we have, so if you start at level, if you start at round 1, you don't get the money, and then you could be out within the first round.
The main event of UFC 244 is in doubt after Nate Diaz revealed he tested positive for traces of performance-enhancing drugs. Despite not being suspended by USADA, the Stockton native says he won't compete until the UFC fixes the situation. Light heavyweight champion John Jones and Diaz's Madison Square Garden opponent George Masvidal have already come out in support of the 34-year-old. This development may hamper the plans of the returning Conor McGregor. In a Moscow press conference yesterday, the Notorious One announced his octagon return in January to face the winner of Diaz and Masvidal.
January 18th, the return of the notorious Conor McGregor, 12 weeks this Saturday at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. That will be the beginning of my season. I will then look to compete against the winner of Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal.
Some boxing news now. Josh Taylor vs Regis Prograis will be the main match on this Saturday's card, with the bout determining who will be the World Boxing Super Series champion. Also on the card is an all-British matchup, with Derek Chisora facing David Price.
I think it's a brilliant fight, you know, two undefeated world champions facing off. I think that's what we need in the sport. Both guys can hurt each other, both guys can fight on the inside and the outside. I think it's going to be a brilliant fight.
Bournemouth's Parley Golf Centre has aspirations to become the best training facility on the South Coast, something Captain Dan Murphy believes is definitely possible, the introduction of new equipment and facilities.
The club wants to be the best training facility on the South Coast. That's where it wants to be. And with the facilities we're going towards and what we've got now, is definitely up there. The range has probably gone from being about 25-30% full most evenings to being like 120% full. So you'll find some nights you'll come here and you'll be queuing for about an hour to get on the range.
From golf now to pool, there's been a rise in participation in local pool venues across the country.
I just try and I play for the team in Division 4 of the local league, and we're normally very rubbish and normally bottom of the table, so I just play it for the fun.
England will be looking to end their 6-game losing streak against the All Blacks in a World Cup semi-final clash this Saturday at the Yokohama Stadium. If Eddie Jones' side can get past the tournament's favourites, either Wales or South Africa will await them in the final. Despite the challenge, Jones says his side is ready for whatever they'll come up against.
We've had 2.5 years to prepare for this game, so we're ready to go. And it's going to be a great contest, isn't it? 2 heavyweights, one dressed in black, one dressed in white. You couldn't think of a better scenario.
That's all for now. Make sure to stay updated on all our social media feeds throughout the day. We'll see you later for the 3:30 Bulletin.